Yo, what's up, everyone? It's Pisces Pixie, and we're going to be doing a pick a card today with messages of what doors are opening in your life. What new, cool, exciting, good things are coming. There's been a lot of changes and a lot of shedding, and I think there's been a bit of a mourning process. As Saturn has entered Pisces, I'm going to be honest, I feel like people are feeling the weight of their reality. And it's not all doom and gloom though. There is this really interesting energy emerging of, can I commit to my dreams? Can I commit to my authentic self? Can I commit to my spirit? Can I commit to my spiritual path? What parts of my spiritual path actually help me? What parts of my spiritual path depress the crap out of me and make me feel hopeless? And there's other parts of it of, taking your spirituality more seriously in a way that truly benefits and nourishes your spirit. And as this Saturn Pisces transit is happening for the next 2 years, it is going to move around it's going to create different aspects to different things in your life that's going to come up for questioning. And as I make this video, it's actually trine Mars in Cancer. So this is all about, what am I fighting for in my life that I actually care about? And what are the unconscious obligations that I have taken on that just drain me and are not nourishing me anymore? Today, it's going to be specifically about what new things are coming into your life. I really hope you enjoy the messages. So if you guys don't know how pick-a cards work, the idea is that you take a deep breath and scan over your choices. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Pick your card that you feel drawn to, one that your eyes get caught on, one that you feel drawn into, and notice as well any resistances. If you feel like, oh, I don't like the look of that card, that might be a sign to just kind of breathe through that and look into it anyway. Because I think pick-a cards are a great way to do shadow work and maybe get some messages that you need to hear. But maybe, you don't feel like you're ready for it yet. And this can also be for good things. Because remember, this is a positive pick-a-pile. This is about all the new cool stuff that's coming in your way. And for those that are new to my channel, usually although I come across as perky and nerdy, I'm a deep little fishy, and we really go there in some areas. So for my regulars, they can be like, oh wait, I'm feeling resistant on this because I don't want to get called out. But no, my intention today is just positive vibes only. We're gonna be one of those people today. Positive vibes only. But yeah, anyway, your corresponding timestamp will be down below for whatever pile you choose, and you will click that and listen to your message. If you enjoy this video, please don't forget to leave a like. I'm just here to have fun with this, but obviously the more people that can come and find this video and maybe get helped by it, then the better, but yeah, I will see you in your pile. Bye-bye. Oh, and if you'd like to see more of my content, you can go check out Patreon. Everyone has a Patreon these days. I do too. We have a really dope community, and I hope to see you there. What's up, pile 1? How are you guys doing? So your card is this is a really interesting door, isn't it? Because I don't even know if you knew this is a door. This is a deck called Divine Doors, and every card has a picture, an image of a doorway in the world. I love that so much. And this one is a bit of an interesting one because it doesn't really look like it's leading anywhere, and it's just looks like an awkward place to be. But this card says, birth, another gateway appears in view. New life is unfolding with blessings to you. And I feel like this, the image firstly is where you've been. It's like you've been in this really awkward place where I feel like you haven't really known where you are going. And it also feels like too, there's been lots of ups and downs on your path. And now what new doors are opening to you is like a fresher perspective and new pathways opening up. It actually feels like there is a new direction and a new doorway actually taking place in your life, which is funny because it's like, what new doors are opening for you? This is the new door of a new door, like just a new path for you, because you have been lost for some time. And this is the thing, it almost feels like the doorway that you were in was just a place where you took shelter. Like you had chosen a path previously and you were maybe really sure of it, but it's almost like you knew for a while and have known for a while, maybe the past year, maybe the past 2 years, 6 months. You might have just started to feel like this is just not for me anymore. And it's been like awkward and you've had to really work through and heal what was preventing you from going elsewhere, because there was this sense that you started to get stuck. And then again, I can't help but feel like, is this like reminding me of like a smoking hut where people kind of just like chill inside it, and it's like a fake doorway in a way where it's like it's not really going anywhere, but you can stay there for shelter until the next leg of the journey. And this feels like this weird, if that relates with you, this is starting to be over, okay? Because positive vibes only. This is starting to be over. And you're starting to really see the truth of your situation. I don't think it's all figured out yet, but you're really starting to like uncover the truth of maybe what it is that you want. There's a self-reflective vibe here with the mirror and the woman looking at it. It gives me this, impression of really being honest with yourself about what you're enjoying, what you're not enjoying, what you like, what you don't like, and being honest with your fears that you have. Why do you think you have to stay? Or why do you think there's nothing else out there for you? And what are the types of voices in you that are deterring you from where you want to go? And this is a time where the doors that are opening up for you is these truths, these revelations of why you've held yourself back for so long, or maybe why you've prevented yourself from really going for what it is that you want to go for. And other sides of it too, of the truth of certain patterns, the truth of certain people. I feel like there is a moment where you may have realized that you had been surrounded by, or maybe just had a really close influence of somebody who was kind of negative. And I don't just mean like, it feels very implicit. For some of you, this could be super explicit, like literally somebody telling you, you suck and you don't deserve what you have. This, for me, for some of you, the vibe feels like this is deep unconscious influence, subtle comments that have just stuck with you, little things that people did, maybe people not replying to something that was meaningful to you. And over time, these things built up and ate away at your sense of confidence. And these, I'm going to be honest, pile one, I feel like you guys are just very like creative spirits. And also you're learning how to even believe in the ambition of your dreams, or even just begin to tap into the waters of ambition for yourself. There's two sides to this, but overall, I feel like you guys have been influenced by subtle forces over long periods of time that have convinced you that you're not very special. That's not true. That's not true, Power One. That's not true. And that is beginning to start healing. And I feel like, I love how this is like a green candle, because this feels like self-love and luck and optimism. I feel like you are healing your optimism towards yourself, your optimism towards how you approach life, because you may have seen a lot of negativity in this world and experienced a lot of blows and like negative hits and negative influence just keeps coming up. I'm sorry for repeating myself, and this is like you healing your sense of identity so that you can begin to surround yourself with people and approach life in more optimistic ways, because there are people out there for you that want to see you grow and glow and be the best freaking version of yourself. And it's easy for us to fall into and be around people who confirm and resonate with certain heavy negative thoughts that we have about ourselves. Some of you may have fell into patterns where you are chasing validation of your dreams, and it could be really subtly. Maybe you just want your husband to tell you that he believes in you, or maybe you just want your best friend to say, hey, I'm proud of you, hey, you're killing it, and you haven't got that. And this isn't always to say that these people don't love, appreciate, and respect you, and that's why you probably may still have them in your life. But it's still over time, hearing that or having a lack of that feeds into a wound that already exists and that isn't getting healed any other way. So what new doors are opening for you is you starting to heal this for yourself and starting to heal your belief in you, the hope that you have in you, and forgiving yourself for maybe putting up with other people's behaviors for too long, forgiving yourself for not trying sooner, forgiving yourself for not knowing any better. There's a lot of forgiveness coming through. For some of you, this could also be a reconciliation with family members. I wonder if there has been a new because we have this birth card, like a new birth coming into your life. You could literally be, getting pregnant, marriage proposals, and the truth of certain things are coming to light, and maybe this is initiating a spark of a conversation of reconciliation. This won't be for everybody. Some people are best left out of our lives, no matter how attached to their potential we may feel, but we are healing, and there can be a relationship healing in this. And whether you are forgiving yourself or forgiving another person, I feel pile one, the new door opening is you feeling set free. You finally feeling set free from these chains that have been holding you down and holding you back for a really long time. Along with this, with some more cards, I feel like one of the new doors that are opening for you is the finally letting go of things that no longer make you happy. And I feel like this is not only the ending, but the surrendering. You are surrendering everything that no longer fits into your life, the things that keep you stagnant, the things that keep you hurting. And this, again, for some of you, this is the death of your ego. Because, this is coming up over the truth card. I am getting a message saying that for some of you, you think that it's everyone else that's like super toxic, but really, like, you do have unhealed schemas. You do have unhealed wounds, that rejection wounds. Like, you look at things pessimistically. And when people are just, it's not their intention to hurt you, but you can be interpreting certain things through this, but then you're not communicating and you don't let anyone else put it right. If you're in a situation where there are people that you care about, but you feel like belittled by them and hurt by them, speak up and give them the chance to heal it. Because this is going to show you what relationships need to go, rather than you just feeling like, oh, okay, this person makes me feel bad, I need to leave. Like, give people the chance to make it right with you. Give people the chance. Give people the chance. Give people the chance. Your cycles are ready to be transformed. And know that this is really empowering, because you are gonna start looking at the truth of what needs to go and the truth of what maybe died a long time ago. What dreams of yours may have died. The old desires that you had are ready to be reborn. And I love that we have birth and death, because that is always part of the cycle. And pile one, when I was saying in my intro about, we've been going through all this like purging process to really release all the crap that acts as a ceiling that keeps us like from going much further or any more forwards in our happiness. You have been the archetype of that healing and that letting go and letting these cycles take place. And be brave and let these things fall away from you. And if there are these things that you are internalizing, because death is a very Scorpio thing. This is the ruled by Scorpio. And I always talk about the two sides of the coin with every archetype. And I think this is because I often can see people's egos justify making unhealthy choices or choices that are out of alignment with the soul, but use spiritual information to empower it. And I feel like, for me personally, I just feel like this ethical duty to just kind of point out how your ego might weaponize certain types of information to sever things that are healing for you. If you have Scorpio heavy placements, you might have a tendency to do this more than other people. What is the truth? And these are deep, deep, deep truths that you can uncover right now as a door opening up for you. Do you always feel rejected by certain people? What types of attitudes really rub you wrong? And what is the truth about it? What is the truth about why it pulls in you so much? And this is getting into your psychology, your psyche, and your spirit. And don't always be looking outwards. Don't always be looking outwards for, oh, this is telling me about their spirit and their psyche. No, what is it saying about you? What are the strings that it's pulling in you? Especially too, when you can start to realize that on the surface of things, they aren't keyed into what you're keyed in, and it feels like there's two very different experiences happening. That's really worth noting, because that's usually if you know, everyone else is fine with things, but then you're the one that's under the surface of things, then that is usually a key of like, this is something much deeper happening. Because most people can tell when this is not every. If somebody genuinely does something effed off, people usually can self-reflect enough to be like, oh crap, I'm sorry about that. Oh crap, I'm sorry about that. And if people aren't doing that, then it's like, okay, is this a time where I need to kind of say like, okay, that kind of hurt my feelings? And they can reassure you like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel that way, but I needed to set a boundary, you know, for my comfort, but I do apologize. It made you feel that way, you know. Or is it like are they a turd, you know? Are they a turd that does not it's not helping and it's not helpful to your life? The next thing we have is the Lovers. So again, there's a little bit of vibe again of that, you know, marriage proposal, or some kind of maybe child's coming into life. The other side of this too is you, and one of the, you know, new things that are coming into your life, what new doors are opening for you, is choice. You actually feeling like you have a choice to stay or to go, pursue or to not pursue. And the Lovers as well as like our passions and us going towards the things that make us feel like in harmony, the things that feel right for us, and recognizing that you always have a choice in the matter and you get to choose who you're becoming. And that's this page of materials here. Pile 1, you guys are starting to unlock, and the door that's opening for you is the past is the past, and happiness can be yours with choice and with daily action to choose who you're wanting to become. And look to your higher self. Think of yourself in good ways. Think of yourself through loving eyes and see yourself through loving eyes, and be soft with yourself. I love the roses because they're so velvety, and this is about looking at yourself and loving yourself through like a really velvety, good energy, and seeing all the best parts of yourself, and looking at yourself not too, you know, egotistical and like ambitious of, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But there's like a real softness with, this is who I want to become. This is going to be its own journey, but you are on this journey, which this is the Muse of materials. And look, you are being guided. You are being guided on your path. And yes, it's not clear right now exactly where you're heading, but goddamn, will you feel good about yourself as you go, and you will love yourself as you go. And this is an invitation into more softness, pile 1. And I am getting a bonus message of, you know, for some of you, you may, in order to counter these negative opinions that you have or have been told, negative repressive forces that you've experienced, to counterweight that, sometimes it will 180 and you're like, oh, I'm a boss, brr, and I'm gonna, you know, stomp all the way to the bank and to my new ambitions, and I'm gonna cut off people who don't serve me and blah blah blah. And this is a so much softer approach is opening up for you. Be willing to fall in love with the long game of becoming your softest, loveliest, most compassionate, healed self, who is optimistic and follows their dreams. And the thing is, like, I'm always kind of feeling like softness does not mean absorbent. You can be soft and velvety, but it's still material. It's not gonna be absorbent and stick crappy stuff that no longer is in alignment. Like, this is kind of like, okay, what's coming through here? There's definitely some kind of download coming through. There's something about living your life in this soft, velvety love for yourself that you can confuse with, oh, if I be so loving and if I have my heart so open, then that means that I will be absorbent of negative things again, and negative things will detract me and distract me. But this is like, loving yourself is the barrier. Loving yourself is the boundary. You can approach so much like yourself and your life with this velvety rose petal love that you don't need to be so harsh to protect it, because it acts as its own protection. Roses have thorns. You will know when to be appropriately prickly and to appropriately sting and hurt people if they try to grab you and grab at you. There will be its own natural mechanisms that come into play that will defend you, rather than in your previous life you didn't even feel like you had a stem. You didn't even feel like you had a backbone. So all that you were was this almost like a pool absorbing all of the influence. I hope that makes sense. But this is I'm the doors that are opening for you is you having that backbone in a way that is authentic to you, because you are a carer. You are a lover. You are a lover on this planet. You are a lover. You are not a fighter. You have a fight. You have a bite. Just like the rose has its thorn. You are a lover. And the final two cards, get crystal clear, and it's time to transform. There will be continuations of transformations as you go, pile one. And as you go, I feel like these transformations are going to help you get crystal clear and get crystal clear about what you want to transform. If you're into your crystals, you can work with these crystals. This is clear quartz and malachite. Malachite is also a stone of Scorpio. So it's kind of funny how we have death and malachite coming through. This is a really empowering time. And as you, I feel like maybe one of your focuses and your intentions for this time is to get crystal clear about the truth of things. And this is about what needs to go and what your dreams are, what you enjoy, what makes you happy, and what is just no longer in alignment, what makes you feel obliged and heavy and gross, and also to what mindsets and psychologies do you carry that obstruct your happiness. And you need to get crystal clear about these things. And I do think this is going to be you doing the work. Again, if you're not in therapy, this is therapy pile one. This healing coming through for you. A new door that is opening is healing. So this could be you doing more extensive spiritual healing work, going to therapy, working on your psychology. It's going to be so worth it. Whatever healing practice you take in or take on is going to be so worth it. And this is going to be a time where it's going to help you get clearer and clearer about what truly makes you happy and who you truly want to become. Don't be afraid to transform. It's gonna be so good for you. But that will be the end of your message, pile one. I really hope this resonated and has given you the boost of confidence that you need to step out boldly onto your path and pursue your happiness. And I'm so happy for you. And if you would like to check out more of my content, or if you like what I have to say and you want a private reading or just more access to more of what I do and more of my messages, please go check out Patreon. There's also private readings over on Kofi. I live stream on Twitch. That is like my main gig is Twitch, but I'm kind of branching out onto YouTube because she has felt the call. But yeah, thank you so much for being here and all the best. Drop a like, drop a comment, and I will see you guys soon. All right. Take care. Bye. Yo, what's up, pile two? I hope you're doing fantastic. So the door that you have chosen, I love it. I'd want to live here. Is this little door in a hill in some kind of mountain, and it's surrounded by lush green nature, and the card is Nomad. The nomadic wanderer lies deep inside. So take the leap now. Don't crawl back and hide. Pile two. So I'm gonna be honest, when I started flipping these cards out, because I shuffle, when I make my piles, I shuffle them all, I keep them all face down. I let everything be a surprise to me because it kind of just gets me more excited when I read for them. But when I started flipping these cards over, I was like, oh, this is amazing. So pile two, the new doors that are opening for you. Firstly, I do think for a long bloody time you have hidden yourself. Maybe you have not had the energy to put yourself out there, the confidence to put yourself out there. Whatever it is that was stopping you from putting yourself out there and being part of life, you are starting to do that. And this is letting yourself wander outdoors and explore. And this is not just your typical like I'm gonna go clubbing on a weekend kind of exploration. This is like, no, I'm hearing nerdy nature shoot. And I'm gonna be honest, like, I feel like one of the new doors that are opening for you is you feeling stronger in your sense of self, putting yourself out there. And with this card of psychic abilities, I was firstly getting you're strengthening your psychic abilities and maybe putting yourself out there as a spirit guide, as somebody who is guiding other people with their psychic abilities or with your psychic abilities. You are becoming a guide to other people. Another side of this too is you may have no idea that you have psychic abilities, or you're just starting to learn more about it, and you're starting to leave your little comfort cave and pursue and start to learn more and be guided by other people to learn more about your psychic abilities in order for you to strengthen them. This is you coming into a deeper version of your spiritual path, tapping in more to your psychic abilities and also your own fulfillment with that too. Because the nomadic wanderer lying deep inside, okay, you have had these really deep, you're a very deep, potent person with potent messages through either your art, your written word, the messages that you speak, the advice that you give, the things that you ponder silently to yourself, and you're ready to start finding people and places to share that. I love it so much. Take the leap. You are getting the confidence to start taking the leap. And this is not going to be like, you're so confident that it requires zero lube to go out. You might have to learn to, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But it is like you're having to self-lubricate in a way where it's like you get yourself confident, you get yourself feeling good and strong about who you are. Embrace your weirdness. Embrace your inner depths, your inner wanderer. And don't crawl back and hide. You've started to talk. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And this is the thing. It's do what you find fun in it. Put yourself out there in the ways that you find fun. It's not about how everyone else has to engage with it, especially if you're sharing really, really deep, profound messages. Not everyone, it's not that everyone doesn't like it, but people absorb it and they don't always. It's something that it's like you're offering a medicine. People kind of like will just take it and they'll swallow it. And it'll take some time for the effects of that to come through, and maybe, a response to what you have offered to come through. You might not actually need people to instantly, because that means that they might, if you get an instant response, then maybe it's an instant like rejection to them. Not all the time, but some of you are working on your confidence, and sometimes you feel or fear that when people don't engage with your message, it means that you need to be quiet. No, embody your message because it's what you enjoy to do, and it's because it's who you are. This is what you do, and this is who you are. You enjoy typing. You enjoy the process of sharing. You enjoy the message of things. You enjoy the process of that. Don't worry so much about who is replying. Don't worry about, how people are taking in your medicine, because this is a much subtler process too of when people are taking in your medicine. It takes time to absorb, and this is something that builds as well. So you'll do medicine and medicine and medicine and medicine until one day someone turns around 9 months later and says, wow, I've been following your work for a while and it's completely changed my life and the way that I have started to perceive my world, right? So stop worrying, stop letting your confidence take a hit when you feel like you're not being seen in the way that you want to be seen. The thing is, you're delivering messages in the inner world, and the way that it's going to connect with people is in their inner world. I actually think that sometimes it takes energy for people to take that step. Sometimes it comes naturally, but to take the step to go from the inner world and put it into the outer world, it takes a step. And you need to stop fearing that your messages aren't landing because you don't see the reflection of it. Look, yeah, you don't see it like bounce back straight away. It's being absorbed. And like calcium to the bones, like you don't want that calcium to be spat back out. Okay, I don't know if I'm just like trying to bargain with you. I feel like I'm like trying to find like a bargain of like, this is not to say you'll never have that feedback that you're wanting. But I feel like I'm trying to haggle with your inner saboteur, where it's like, yo, like, start to see it like this. Like, start to see it is that you're delivering calcium to the bone and you don't want it spat back out. So let that strengthen you. Take in this message as calcium to your bone and let that strengthen you in your message. Let that strengthen you in your message. For those that are not message deliverers, this is you developing, I do feel like this is learning to strengthen your aura, strengthen your psychic protection, so that you, because I do feel like some of you have psychic abilities that you do not maybe understand yet. Some of you are coming into psychic abilities. So maybe you haven't always identified as a psychic. And being a psychic does not mean that you see ghosts all the time when you're 4 years old, or that you have dreams of premonitions and stuff like that. Like, being a psychic is being tuned into the unseen world. And I'm going to be honest, there is not to sound new age AF, but there is an awakening happening on the planet. Sorry, I'm loving it. There's awakening happening on the planet, bro. And more and more people and new people are getting these gifts of deep perception, because we can't trust the world with our physical eyes anymore. We can't judge a book by its cover. We can't trust the physical layers of things. So we are developing deeper inner psychic sight to be able to perceive what's under the physical, to be able to see the real intentions of things. And this is an evolutionary trait. This is what is actually having to be required of us, because of how, and this is kind of a weird take, but because of how unhealed and how unhealthy the world is right now, the political climate, the people in power, how they are using, our emotions and our psychologies against ourselves. It's pushed us to develop deeper psychic sight so we can perceive the truth of things. And it's funny because the weird take is that, some people think that, governments and, there's conspiracy theories of people doing this intentionally to stop us from spiritually evolving, but it's actually forcing humans to spiritually evolve so that we can actually start perceiving the truth and start seeing beneath the surface, so that we can be correctly guided, because we are not here to be rats in an experiment. We are not here to spend our entire human existence being deceived, falling in love, and turning and being betrayed, thinking that we have found our dream career to have that be taken away from us. It's pushing us into really seeing what the truth is, so that we can be guided properly and guided toward a real dream of ours. And this is part of the Saturn Pisces transit. You're going to start seeing that you want to take your spirituality more seriously and have boundaries around who is influencing you and what types of energy are influencing you. I'm just like doing this little orb around you. What types, and there's so many protection bubbles in this. So please, if you haven't already, learn how to protect your energy. Learn how to take that a little bit more seriously. If you're interested in learning how to protect your energy, I've actually just started to recently teach that over on my Patreon. I teach astrology, and I teach just like things with like how to strengthen psychic abilities. But over the past 4 months, I've been super called to actually just share with people how I protect my energy, how I have learned to master my own sensitivity so that I'm not being flooded by everyone else's emotions, everyone else's fears. It's all in the Pisces realm. If you're into astrology, Pisces is the mystic. It's the collective unconscious. It's also fears, and it also has no boundaries. And with Saturn moving into Pisces, it's about strengthening boundaries, putting the formless into form, manifesting spirit into reality, putting our dreams into actual solid foundations, and doing what is necessary for us to protect what is meaningful to us. Because when Pisces energy is not protected, that's where you feel hopeless, lost, confused, sorrow. And it's usually Pisces energy that makes people take their own lives, because they're just like, I just want to start again. Take me to Aries. And you don't want that. That's not what we want. We want to refine things and protect it enough so that we can stay true in our spirit and heal what is necessary and live our karmic path out to the fullest, and embody our spirit and what our spiritual path wants from us in this life. So that's the first part of what new doors are opening for you. And this is you feeling guided. And one other message too is with Saturn Pisces. And I'm going to be covering Saturn Pisces more in depth. I've been working on a booklet and I really want to just cover it in videos. I'm having my Saturn return right now. I am a natal Saturn Pisces, and I've always taken spirituality like very, very seriously. And now I'm seeing where I'm being pushed to share that with other people. And there is going to be a phase. If you are somebody who watches tons of picker piles and you watch lots of spiritual content, Saturn Pisces is like, okay, which of these things need to be cut out? Where do you need to draw boundaries? Are you addicted to constantly receiving spiritual guidance and not tuning into your own psychic abilities? Are certain people manipulating you and your desire for guidance in a format where you become reliant on them and, you know, you're basically like a pay piggy for them? And this is you choosing to be around spiritual guides, spirit guides, who strengthen your own psychic abilities and strengthen your own feeling of your own sense of self in your spiritual path, so that, yes, they can guide you along your path, but you're not codependent on them or like overly reliant on them for what it is that they offer. Okay, we're gonna pull some more cards. So okay, we have the Muse of Emotion, Moon, Five of Voices, the Hermit, and the Six of Inspiration. Okay, this is about showing up and showing yourself. Again, I feel there's a few people that come to mind. I try to like blank out because I'm very close with my community that I run on Twitch and on Discord and on Patreon, and I can't help it sometimes. Like I'll get certain usernames come to mind of like, oh, who's this about? But you know, the Muse of Emotions, this is you drinking in the fullness of who you are. And this is you having your own back about your abilities and about your gifts. This is, again, having your own back about who you are as a person, in your sensitivities, in your creativity, in the love that you are as a person, you having your own back. Now, we do have the Moon and the Five of Voices in between the strength and psychic ability. I'm going to be honest, for some of you who do not know or are not educated enough yet, some of you guys are telepathic, and some of you can have abilities to feel and perceive energy, and you think that it's you, and it can make you scared. You might feel like you are picking up on other people's negative thoughts about you that make you lack confidence. Some of you might be influenced and being bombarded by mental argument that you're getting stuck in with people. That's actually a psychic phenomena. If you feel like you keep getting intrusive thoughts telling you negative things about your life or yourself, if you keep getting intrusive thoughts where you are arguing with somebody in your mind about how they mistreated you and how they disrespected you, this is like psychic stuff. This is not you being a crap person. Some of this is psychic influence that you're gonna need to learn how to strengthen, because it's killing your confidence. It's killing your self-esteem, being so overly absorbent of the criticisms. And some of you, and I've spoke about this in my Patreon class, some people are unintentionally and without awareness plugged into some of the darkest thoughts that people have about them, but they're not actually live, active thought that people are actively thinking. You're plugged into people's shadow selves that they're not even connected to. You're plugged into inverse, darker realities about people. And I know this sounds weird, and this is part of the nomadic journey. Don't hide. You need to learn this stuff. You need to learn about it. And other than, you know, I know I've been teaching about it over on my Patreon, but there are some really, really good psychics out there that have started to talk more about this. One person that I follow who I really, really like is Mariam Hasna. I think I'm saying that right. She does flower essence apothecary. And, you know, whether you learn this from me, whether you learn this from somewhere else, it's time, because you are a priestess. You are a psychic. You have psychic abilities, and it is a gift and a curse. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes having psychic abilities, and sometimes it starts out as more of a curse until we master them, until we strengthen our knowledge in them, our knowing in them, the influence that they have on us, and we set the appropriate boundaries and we learn the appropriate things. This is almost like the war that it has in us, because reality does push a narrative that all of this doesn't even exist. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. You don't need to look at, oh no, that's just you. It's not. And we need to reconcile. And this is meditating. Through meditation, through self-reflection, through forgiveness and understanding, through insight, we're going to heal this war, whether that's happening within ourselves or with you and other people, or you feeling like every day is a fight because you're being flooded and overwhelmed by thoughts or other types of psychic phenomenon. And when I say you're being flooded by thoughts, like sometimes, again, I'm not a therapist and I'm not a scientist. And some people do and may have genuine, mental health issues where they are being flooded by thoughts that are not their own. From a spiritual perspective only, sometimes, even if it's placebo, these things can be helped with spiritual hygiene, spiritual protection. And this is not just praying it away. This is work that you do, and this is a path. And the more, and especially with Saturn in Pisces, spirituality is going to be legitimized again as a legitimate path to follow. Because when Neptune was in Pisces, it became a fad. It became a joke. It became a fashion statement to just wear crystals and do yoga. And it's going to be legitimized again. And this is also something in yourself. You legitimizing your spiritual nature that you possess, legitimizing the spiritual nature that you carry. Going into the Hermit, this is saying new doors that are opening for you. I hope this is all making sense as a new door that's opening for you. This is super powerful. Wow. Like, I'm just taking a moment. The new doors that are opening for you with the Hermit is this is the revelations. This is discovery. This is going your own way and not in an isolatory way, because we do have a message here about do not go back and hide. But this is taking the appropriate time, the appropriate alone time to understand yourself and be guided so that you can show up. We have the Six of Inspiration. This is you being seen. This is you being recognized. This is you being confident. This is you showing up and finding, I would say, a destiny, and you feeling good about who you are in this life. You feeling good about who you are in this life. And I'm going to be honest, this is making me feel like blessing coming down onto you, because I feel like everything that we've just spoke about is something that tortured you. Everything that we've covered is something that tortured you. So as you do all this, of course, you will naturally be blessed as you step into this. And the Hermit, it is a journey. It is a journey. It is a slow pursuit that is balanced with, and this is a card of Virgo, it's analysis and self-reflection and slowly purifying your motivations, purifying your ego, purifying your spirit, simplifying your ritual, purifying your ritual, getting in touch with nature, getting involved with flower essences, getting involved with herbs, getting involved with natural healing modalities. And as you go, continuing to remove the toxins, remove the impurities of what you're guided to do or what you had been guided to do. Understanding and studying. Study is the Hermit about psychic ability. The study of, because when you study something, it becomes a guide for you. Any book that you read, any thought, organized thought form that you read, you can kind of absorb it. And there needs to be a purification process of discernment as you take in what you're being guided to do and who is guiding you. Even this message right now is guiding you. And there'll be a process of you're absorbing the information and you're refining it and you're purifying it and you're taking the gems from it that support you, that truly support you. And so Virgo is the opposite of Pisces, and they're meant to work in balance. So as we're absorbing the pool of all of this like psychic Pisces goodness, it has to run through this Virgo process of purification so that you can really get the gems out of it and not get lost or get too much into prickly over perfection and over concern of the details. The final two cards for you guys, pile 2, is release your emotional baggage, Aragonite. If you use crystals, this will be a good crystal for you to use. It's so funny. I have an Aragonite right here. What the hell? Has this been sat here helping me release my emotional baggage this whole time? Kind of reminds me of like a sea urchin type like a coral, you know, like a sea sponge or something. This is an aragonite. Release your emotional baggage. And this is over on the portion. How I read cards, and I don't know, I always feel like wherever I end up placing the card, it like relates to the message on that side. So with this card of releasing your emotional baggage coming out over to this side of the reading, you know, this is releasing your emotional baggage so that you can stay confident. Releasing the emotional baggage of the voices that you maybe have carried, the influences that you have carried, the negative influences that you have carried. It's time now to release your emotional baggage around these things. And you can use aragonite to help you release your emotional baggage. The next card is to lighten up with Angel Oracle. This is about you feeling way more positive about your path, feeling way more positive that your messages will be received and that you will be confident and that you have every right to feel positive about your path and positive about where you're heading and feel like you are being positively guided. And you can feel positive about the guidance that you're receiving, and you can feel positive about the guidance that you are giving. Okay. Lighten up. Lighten up is the message of Angel Oracle, because I'm going to be honest, you are a deep little bish. You are a deep bish. I don't know if I can swear on YouTube videos. I swear like a sailor, but like you are a deep little bish. And, you know, some of the things that you psychically perceive, I'm going to be honest, like there is a lot of darkness that you see, but it doesn't need to stain your energy. It does not need to stain your energy. Yes, there are deeper, really crappy facets that are healing planetary right now. It's getting better. It really is. It really is getting better. It really, really is. So I'm going to leave you guys there, pile 2. I appreciate your time so much. If this resonated, please don't forget to subscribe and like my video. If you want to see more of my content, go check out Patreon. All of my links and stuff like that are down below, the usual. And I will see you guys soon. Literally, I am so buzzing for this, and I'm so excited to upload this video now just so Pile 2 can like get all the goodness. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. All the best. Bye. Yo, what's up, Pile 3? I hope you're doing great. Your door was, or the card you picked, the pile you picked, is this door, and it's absolutely beautiful and timeless, and it kind of gives me this impression that it's not the door that you thought you would be walking into in this life, but it's the door that you're meant to. And when I turned over the message, the card says, trust the universe. Intuition has wandered and led you astray. The timing's not yours, but the universe at play. Have faith and breathe. And the doors that are opening up for you, again, I feel like were not the doors that you had planned. I think what your life has become, where you are in your life, was not part of your plan at all. Even the transitions and the things that you have done in the last year alone are just things that I feel like you would not have ever thought for yourself if you asked yourself maybe 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago. So there is this emerging sense coming in your life. The door that's opening in your life is just you trusting the universe's timing and not letting yourself get in the way of the timing of what wants to happen. And you can let yourself get in these modes and feel like you're out of control and feel lost and pessimistic about what it is that's happening in your life. But on the flip side, if you can just trust that your life knows exactly what it's doing and the timing of it is impeccable and lean into that, you can start building that faith and that trust in the universe again and be optimistic again. I feel like Pile 3, you guys, what's opening up for you is this opportunity and this realization that there are things that you can't control. And if you just lean into what you can and let go of what you can't, you will be so much happier for it. And I think that even though you guys might feel like you're like an open, go with the flow spirit, like, no, there are still things that you have set up in your mind that where you think you were supposed to be and what you think you're supposed to be doing. And that's all kind of like going out of the window a little bit. And it can be so scary. It can be so frightening to be so mentally sure. Or maybe even you guys were like very mentally unsure that your life, like maybe you were so sure that your life had no direction and you were just it was just gonna flop. But now, wait, hang on. These things are emerging now. These new paths are emerging now. There is this rhythm change of how you work with your life. There is a relationship change with how you flow and trust the timing that is beyond the mind's timing. It's beyond what you think is supposed to happen. The chronological order that, you know, I think sometimes Western society tries to get you to think that that's how things work, but sometimes it is in this natural ebb and flow and this natural rhythm of nature and of the universe. And that's one of the biggest doors that are opening up for you right now, is this sense of happiness, this sense of joy, and this sense of trust in knowing that, yeah, this hasn't been your timing and maybe things haven't worked out in the timing that you thought, but this is all happening in the universe's timing, and that's good. That is a good thing, because what you thought was good for you and what you were so sure was good for you, the universe is saying, hey, there is so much better out there for you. And you might find that the fears that you have, or the things that were convincing you that, oh, this is the only thing that you can do, it was out of fear, and it was because you may not have thought that other things were available for you. And you do need to trust that your life is unfolding and taking you where it needs to go. And with that, what other new energies and new doors are opening up for you? We have fertility. And this is new births and new things coming into your life, new growth, the energy to actually nurture ideas and projects, the energy to actually take care and nourish what makes you happy. And I think that this conflict that sometimes you have with timing takes you away from nurturing what needs to be nurtured. We have home. So a new blessing, a new doors that are opening. You might be moving home very soon, or you might already have done so. There are changes happening in your home. So maybe you are decorating, doing something good with your space, improving the energy of your space. Maybe you are reorganizing and restructuring and making more room for creative projects to happen in your space. And this is for you to be happy. We have happiness here, which is so lovely. And I feel that one of the biggest doors that are opening up for you is you feeling happy in your home. Whether that home is somewhere new, or whether that home is where you currently are, but with a new, fresh energy and a new, fresh understanding, you are going to be happy. There is so much happiness coming in for you. And another message that I get here as well is that for some of you, you have been exploring what it means to connect with home. And like, you know, when people say home is where the heart is, you are part of spaces and maybe people and communities that are really starting to feel like home. And there are things that you may have built that are ready to flourish even more. And I hope this isn't too intrusive. It shouldn't be, because there's a reason why Spirit was telling it me. But Spirit was telling me for pile 3 that you guys are some of you are very deep and very loving people. And you know how to go and feel like quite connected with people. And it's like you've made certain connections and then you feel a bit stumped of like, how to make them go even deeper. And this is what's going to be opening up for you, is this new way of letting your relationships go even deeper. And this doesn't mean having to go into like super emotional depths and like heaviness and talking about problems and things like that. But this is like really feeling loved and really expressing your love to the people around you and having people that you can go to that feel like home. And I wouldn't be surprised, pile 3, if new doors that are opening up for you is, I do feel like the doors of your home are opening. So maybe somebody might be moving in, or you're letting new people into you, into your heart, into your home. And this, whatever you feel like your home is, where you feel at home in, there is new energy, a new growth, a new nourishment wanting to come into that place. So, you know, even this could be as simple as redecorating, or just opening up some of the things that really matter to you and that are sentimental to you and sharing that with others, and opening it in a way that makes you feel happy. That's one of the biggest messages that I was getting for you guys. And as you start to work with and trust the timing of the universe, you won't have to feel so unsure or uncertain or insecure about your foundations or about how secure your future is going to be. Your future is being protected. Your future is being nourished. And there are some new ideas that you are getting about how to build more security for yourself, how to work through the insecurities that you have, how to trust more. Because the thing is, with this home card, I do feel like, you know, a home it's protected by 4 walls, and you can be very particular about who you let into this house. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like for pile 3, you have done a lot of the healing work. And I think for a while you have maybe not let people into your home, and now you're starting to bring new energy into it. And you're in a space where you have healed certain foundations now, and it's almost like this new level unlocking of your own happiness. There are new depths to your own sense of security that are emerging. There are new depths to just how safe you feel in your happiness. Because I don't know if this resonates with some of you, but what's coming through for me is that some of you are really afraid that your happiness and the things that you care about will be taken away. And there might be parts of you that, you know, when you thought in the past, you know, everything was right and the timing was good, and then it kind of fell apart or things didn't go the way that you wanted it to go, you don't want to be caught off guard again. So pile 3, the new opportunities and the new doors that are opening in your life is, I do feel like, an increased sense of security, an increased sense of energy, an increased sense of happiness, and a new sense of home. Again, this could be literally moving home, or new things opening up so that maybe you can buy a home. There's all things that they can cover, but it's all home related. And we do have fertility. Fertility can mean babies. It can mean baby talk. It can mean, you know, introducing new family members. For the most of you, though, this will be more along the terms of new, like our creative ideas being nourished, new creative ideas coming in that in part nourish the home, nourish our happiness. I'm going to do some tarot cards because I feel like this is going to kind of make us go a bit deeper with this. So we have the 6 of Coins, the Knight of Coins, the Sun, Justice, and the 6 of Voices. So firstly, I'm drawn to Justice as maybe, you know, you might be waiting on something legal, like a legality thing right now. You might be waiting for, you know, some kind of documentation, some kind of legal proceeding type thing, some kind of document, foundation, paperwork to come through. And this does look like it's going to come through in your favor. It does look like it's going to come through in your favor. And if it doesn't, then that's okay. That is just the universe leading you to where you need to go. to your next phase. But I do feel like this is a positive because we have the sun here. So this looks like this is good. This is good news coming through of some kind of legal side of things. I don't fully know. I don't really do legal advice, but yeah, whether it's something you're waiting to hear back from, some kind of documentation you're waiting to hear back from, it looks like it's going to come through as good news. The next one is this. So we'll go from the beginning. The Six of Coins. You know, you guys are generous spirits, and I feel like for maybe a while, and maybe you've just been going through a down time, but you have struggled to have the energy to give to those who you care about, and you've struggled to have the resources to give to the things that you care about. And on the flip side, maybe you have felt that others haven't been able to give to you in the way that you need. This is about to change. And this is done with softness. This is not done with force. This is not done with a ton of energy, but this is soft, mindful approaches to nourish and care for what is close to us and what matters to us. If you have been scattering your energy, I'm hearing, if you've been scattering your energy, the new door that's opening for you is you focusing more on the things that's under your roof, on the things that are actually important. And I wonder if pile 3, some of you guys went through an experience where maybe some of your energy was like really scattered out into the future, or worrying about people you don't even know, like what they thought of you or where things were going to end up. And the timing of the universe has maybe like taken some of those people away, or maybe like I'm hearing like squandered your efforts on, maybe you committed to like, I don't know, you wanted to commit to success and you wanted to be seen and recognized at your job, and then suddenly all recognition has been withheld from you, or maybe progress has been withheld from you. And it was really devastating, but it's actually showing you, you know, hey, why do you care so much? Why do you care so much about the prestige that you reach? Why do you care so much about what you think you're achieving? Like, focus on your roots, focus on who the F is actually in front of you and who the F actually cares about you. And yes, you can want good things for yourself, but if you keep beating yourself up because you don't have what you think you should have, then like you're always going to be robbing yourself of your happiness. That's what I'm hearing. Some of you, again, with the home card, this could be about, you know, a realization coming in about how you've grinded so hard to the bone to get yourself in a financial position to maybe finally make your first down payment or finally move home. And this could be telling you that, like, you know, all of this hard work you've put in, you know, was it really all for your happiness? Like, what uphill battle were you really fighting with your striving? And I kind of get this impression, and I hope this isn't insensitive, because, you know, this is a spiritual way of looking at life, is, you know, if you feel like you're always constantly battling against the housing market, for always, you know, generating money to finally overcome and reach this point of security, is there, how reflective of that is your inner striving? And is that really what you need? And is that, you know, can security be found in your family? Can security be found in your loved ones? Can security be found in your happiness, rather than burning yourself out dry to try and get yourself to a point where you don't even really want to be? Sorry. Someone's getting called. Someone's getting told off. I'm so sorry. Because some of you have been trying so hard and putting in all your energy and burning out. For what? For what? So this is a time, pile 3, where the opportunities that are opening up for you is ones for real happiness. And yes, it does involve some material goodness. We have the 6 of Coins, we have the Knight of Materials. Money is involved, career prospects are involved, you having resources. You have resources, and there is going to be birth of new resources. And I know some of you really needed to hear that. You are going to be safe. You're being protected. The sun is shining in your sky, baby. The sun is shining in your sky. Please feel optimistic about your future and watch out for this what is it? What's the word? Watch out for you grinding and burning out so hard. Just please take time for yourself. Take time to nourish your home. Let it bring you closer to what really matters. Is money really that important? What is the inner nudgings of why you are so desperate to get what it is that you are burning out over? That includes validation. That includes love from other people. That includes acceptance, recognition, approval. What are you really fighting for and chasing and grinding over? And do the right thing for yourself. There is kind of like an ego death happening a little bit with this Justice card. The false self is falling away. This is the bullshit that you thought you want. It's the surface layer. Underneath, you want to be loved. Underneath, you want to be accepted. Underneath, you want to be approved of, yeah. But you don't need to chase it in all of these weird, toxic ways that you had been, because that is what takes away from your happiness. And finding the things that truly make you happy, pile 3, is a new door that's coming up. And lastly, we have this 6 of voices. Well, this is just last. I have a couple of the cards. This is just of these tarot. The last tarot card is the 6 of voices. And this is overseas travel. This is you being divinely guided over hurdles in your life. And there is a fear that you might be dropped and that you might end up falling on these spikes. And the universe is guiding you over these obstacles. And yeah, it does seem a bit, I don't know what's happening here. This feels a bit weird. But you're making your way. And this is you leaving heavy baggage behind, leaving the past behind, leaving pain behind. This is you moving on to gentler waters, more fulfilling times ahead. Again, I think I said overseas travel out loud. I don't know if I said it in my head or not, but overseas travel can be a huge thing for you guys too, or just some kind of traveling. This can indicate a new thing that, and this is under the card of home. So again, some of you guys will be moving. Some of you guys will be moving or exploring, maybe even just looking at new homes, looking at new places to rent, and seeing what options are out there, because I feel like you're done with the BS. You're done with it. And the Sun card, you have every right to feel confident and in love with who you are. And get optimistic and happy. And feed your creative spirit, feed your confidence. And this might hit with some of you. This is what's coming through. Some of you look outside of your intimate circle to tell you and feed you confidence and happiness. And this is like, look at the company that you keep in your home. And do they fill you with light? Do they, if you were to tell them, oh, I've had this idea, and do they, oh my God, that's such a good idea. Yeah, you're going to kill it. Let's go. And I feel like maybe this is something that you've already been looking at, but you can finally take a breath and say, wow, I am surrounded by people who want to do the right thing by me. The door that's opening in your life is this realization and this birth of, and this, I think this is maybe something that's been growing for a while too, for some of you, of just this, wow, the people in my life love me. The people in my life have my back. The people in my life want me to be happy. Oh my God. What a blessing. The final 2 cards we have Go Deeper and Stay Positive. And I love how the Stay Positive card is kind of coming out around the happiness and the sun. And Go Deeper is around your commitments and your new birthings and your generosity and what you're receiving and what you're giving. So for some of you, again, this reminds me of that message of some of you have created deep relationships and loving relationships, but you don't know how to take them deeper. Or some of you, maybe you took on a creative project and you don't know how to make that go even deeper. An epidote in the card, let me just read it to you. Epidote, these are crystal cards, by the way. So if you're into crystals, this one is epidote. This will help you to go deeper. And apophyllite will help you to stay positive. Epidote says, you are ready to heal on a deeper level. Peel back the layers around your heart by letting your guard down and opening yourself up to being vulnerable. Begin to address any emotional wounds so you can repair your heart and renew your spirit. leaving you open to pursuing healthier relationships. You are strong enough to shut out all the barriers that have been holding you back from forming deeper connections with people in your life. It takes bravery to dive deep, but once you do, you can unlock a more meaningful existence. And there's some core questions that come with this card. It says, are you holding yourself back from creating deeper relationships? This Knight of Materials is about pursuing. Start to pursue and commit to what you're pursuing. And again, this is leading you to this happiness. Commit to your happiness. Commit to it. It's so important. Do you allow yourself to be vulnerable? And what can you do differently to open up to those around you? So for some of you, you may have actually been having epiphanies of, this, like you're kind of aware that you're not being as open as maybe you could be. So this is about trying some new approaches. The affirmation of this card says, I open my heart to loving connections. Take time today to have a deeper conversation with somebody, okay? And this might be, a future between you and an intimate loved one, or you and a hobby that you want to turn into a job. Sit and go deeper with it. And the message of Apophyllite says, keep your head up and your hopes high, pile 3. Instead of focusing on all the things that can go wrong, it's so important to focus on all the things that can go right. Direct your attention to all the positives in your life and allow them to motivate you. Stay grateful in the moment. Allow yourself to be excited about a prospect or an opportunity. Why ruin all the fun with second guessing and what ifs? A positive mindset, one centered on hope rather than fear, can overcome almost anything. Where your attention goes, energy flows, and let it flow towards the positive. The core questions with this card says, when do you feel the most positive? What aspects of your life are good? And how would it feel to focus only on the positives? The affirmation is, I live in a state of positivity. Today, raise your vibration by focusing on the good things that can happen throughout your day and focusing on the good things that are happening throughout your day. So pile 3, I kind of relate with the critical brain wanting to protect itself and always looking at the holes and the flaws. But you are so genuinely loved and there is so much goodness around you, and it is time for you to step out of the comfort zone of always looking over your shoulder and second guessing yourself and start to feel positive and optimistic about exactly where your life is heading, exactly what dreams you're manifesting, and how you're going to show your light and shine your light in the world or just to the people that you love the most. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this message made sense, and I appreciate you guys so much. If this message helped and you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. If you'd like to listen to more of my content and check more of it out, you can go and head over to Patreon and come and learn some astrology, get some more intuitive messages, and meet a like-minded community, especially of people who are learning to go deeper and heal themselves and move beyond their current blockages. And this is something that I talk about quite a lot, and how to move through these things. Obviously, it's hard to give generic advice about how to move through these things because it really depends on what the wound is. But I really appreciate you guys listening to me, and I hope you can take what you can from this. You have every reason to be optimistic about your future, and I am so rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.